Good evening, and welcome to the April 15th meeting of the Transportation Committee. We have several resident members of the committee here, as well as several members of staff and a representative from the Sheriff's Office. So thank you very much for being here, all of you. The first item of business is the approval of minutes. These are the March 18th, 2025 minutes. Did everyone get a chance to review? Are we all happy? Any comments?
I wasn't here.
Fair enough. Okay, seeing no comments, we will consider these minutes approved. So now we'll continue right on to our committee discussion. So our topic of the night is the active transportation plan. So this was a plan that the town has, I guess, commissioned to look at, as it's called, the active transportation in the community. So that's anything from walking, biking, basically anything where you're being active. So we have our consultant here, representative from our consultant here, Tom Robinson from Colliers. Thank you for being here. And I believe he has a presentation just to kind of introduce you guys to the topic. You are our advisory committee for the ATP. So Tom, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Great, thank you. Hi, everybody. Some of you I've seen before, and some of you this is first time. We had our kind of initiation meeting with the town staff last month. So we're just getting into this project now. I'm Tom Robinson. I'm with Colliers Engineering and Design, Rochester office, Penfield resident, and really happy to be involved in this project. So I've got a short presentation just to introduce you to the goals and objectives and kind of the outline of the project, and then I'm happy to answer any questions after that. So let's go. So I'll do a quick introduction to our team. We'll talk a little bit about the goals and objectives, roles and responsibilities. I'm talking a little bit about how this committee will play into the overall project, an overview of our scope, a look at our schedule, and then just kind of a general discussion and what some of the next steps will be. So our team is several people in the Rochester office. The two people you're going to see the most are myself and Katie Darcy, who's our transportation planner. Katie had a conflict tonight, otherwise she'd be here as well. But usually you'll see the two of us at all the meetings. We've got another planner who's kind of a specialist with public engagement, because that's such an important part of this project. We have a landscape architect involved who's very engaged with complete streets and that type of design. And then we've got an advisor from our highway engineering group as well. So we're trying to bring some different disciplines into it and make sure we'll be able to cover anything that comes up during the project. So our team has been involved in numerous active transportation plans throughout Monroe County. There's kind of a map on the slide here that shows those highlights. I think the first one I was involved in was the original Penfield Bicycle Master Plan in 2008. So that was actually my first active transportation planning initiative, and it's led to several others throughout the years. So we're glad to be back looking at things again in Penfield. And again, I have kind of a vested interest as a resident and a parent, and love to see bicycling and walking become more viable. So this is just a short set. The goals and objectives in our proposal is a couple of pages. But really what we're trying to do is create a forward-thinking and achievable plan that reflects where Penfield wants to go with alternative mobility and transportation choices. We're trying to promote a safe, comfortable, and interconnected multimodal network for people of all ages and abilities and mobility levels. And I'll stress that word safe, since safety is sort of a prerequisite for effective active transportation. So we'll be looking at those issues quite a lot. And we want people to be able to get to their destinations in the town by means other than automobiles for short distance travel. So that's really a goal. Active transportation planning is really about incremental mode shift. We're not trying to change our lifestyle, and we're all going to drive cars all the time, every day. But for those trips that are achievable by other means, we want to make that choice available. We're paying a lot of attention to the themes that were identified in the 2023 comp plan update, specifically aging in place, sustainability and fiscal responsibility, and we think active transportation has a strong role to play with all of those. So we're focusing on some of the planning initiatives over the recent years in the town and trying to connect to those as best we can. So roles and responsibilities, there's going to be a lot of different players involved. We're kind of the ringmasters here. So our consultant team will be involved in all the technical work, the data collection, the analysis, the recommendations, all the alternatives. We'll take care of all the meeting facilitation. We'll be involved in organizing all the public outreach initiatives, but we certainly hope this committee will partake in those as much as you can, and then we'll be responsible for the final report development. The town of Penfield is the overall project coordinator and providing oversight and review of everything that we produce, as well as large amounts of data and information for us to base our work on. And then this committee, which is functioning as the project committee, is providing guidance and input to our team. You'll have chances to review every work product that we produce and have input on that, so we look forward to that. Discuss and resolve policy issues identified during the planning process, and then review our draft and final reports. And really anything else you care to contribute during the process, we're open to any ideas and initiatives that you all have to offer as well. So the project breaks down kind of to 5 major pieces: the overall project coordination, our public participation, which I can talk a little bit about, the existing conditions analysis and a needs assessment. So that's looking at all the desktop data. That'll be backed up by quite a lot of field verification. We'll be doing our own data acquisition as needed. We'll look at alternatives and recommendations, and then finally the development of a final report and implementation plan, which should identify a spectrum of projects that the town could consider implementing in the next few years. And we'll give you a lot to choose from there, from kind of higher level aspirational big ticket items to small things, lower hanging fruit, so that there'll be a lot to choose from and a lot to work with based on our analysis. So the project kicked off this spring, and it'll go to end of the winter or very early spring next year. So essentially, these are kind of how those scope items distribute over the next year. But I would expect to have a final plan in front of you all by end of winter, maybe February, March next year. I expect this will take about a year's effort. So that's kind of what we're shooting for. So the public participation has a few different pieces. We have public meetings. We're going to have 2 public sessions. We'll do quite a lot of online tools, including an online survey. We have scoped up to 5 different stakeholder interviews, and we have some initial ideas we've already discussed with the town about who those stakeholders might be, but that's a little bit fluid. So absolutely, we'll be talking to Monroe County DOT. We want to coordinate with the Sheriff's Office on safety issues specifically. The school district, we think, is an important one. Department of Public Works, because maintenance plays such a key role in everything we do with active transportation. And then we're exploring the idea of what we call a municipal roundtable, but this might be a gathering of town officials from other towns in Monroe County that have already done active transportation plans to see what worked for them, what the challenges were, and see if there's any sort of peer input that might help Penfield move things forward. That's just an idea we're talking about now. And so that last one's kind of a floater, and if we decide to go with a different stakeholder approach, that we can. But getting information from all of these different groups is going to really help us fine-tune and focus in on the best set of recommendations. Just a couple of things that we've already identified as being really important is designing for all ages and all abilities, because we have kind of vulnerable users at both ends of the spectrum, right? We have children that we would like to be able to see move throughout the community safely. And then we have our senior citizens who are also very dependent on walkability. We're very interested in developing potential for aging in place in Penfield, and walkability is a big part of that. So just this whole idea of the whole lifespan being mobile and connected. Another piece that we talked about a little bit in our first meeting was active transportation isn't just along the roadway. It doesn't just end at the public right-of-way. So you have to get that last steps from the street to the door of wherever you're moving. So this is where active transportation enters the private realm, and that's our intersection with land use regulations and development guidelines that Penfield has. So we'll be working with the town staff and reviewing what you have on the desk now and seeing if there's ways that we can make that stronger, so we can have this whole, the whole trip covered safely and emphasize that connectivity as well. This is new, Aimee. There's a couple other projects that are ongoing now in Monroe County and just coming down the pipeline that we're going to be connecting to. So in 2023, Monroe County developed their countywide active transportation plan. My team was the local consultant for that under a national transportation planning firm. So that was 2023. Monroe County has on the street now their active transportation implementation plan. So they have not selected a team for that yet, but this is kind of the gap between the planning and when construction starts. So they're going to be looking at the network that was identified in the previous plan and move forward with profile projects looking at implementation, specifically on county roads. So it's being run by, the first one was run by county planning, this one's run by county DOT. So everything is kind of getting focused at Monroe County. But Penfield was examined in that first plan and shows up in the network. So we'll be paying attention to that data, where this next project might be going, and it's probably an opportunity for us to advocate for some specific projects in the town of Penfield. So that's interesting. And then the other one that's happening right now is federally funded Safe Streets for All. So that's happening. That's in the queue. Colliers is part of the central region for that, and Penfield's in the eastern region. But Penfield's looking at possible projects through that initiative as well. So we'll just be careful to pay attention to what's going on around us to get the best value out of Penfield's active transportation plan. So there's a lot happening right now, and there's good streams of funding coming down the pipe that we want to tap into. And that's it in a nutshell, what we're going to be doing for the next year. We'll be seeing you all on a regular basis as you're going to be the project committee. And I'm happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Yeah. Any initial questions?
I have a couple. And I don't know how many, I think there's maybe just 2 schools that are So my kids we're town of Penfield Webster schools, so I know Plank North, Plank South, we just want to include them. I don't know if we necessarily have to reach out to Webster schools, but I'm just throwing it out there, Tom.
Yeah, so Penfield's interesting, right? Because you've got different districts within the town. You also have, like, Indian Landing School is a Penfield school that's in the town of Brighton.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be inclusive here and pay attention to all of that. So anywhere Penfield resident kids might be going to school, we'll consider that in this plan. So yeah, very possibly we'll be talking to these other districts as well.
That's great. And I'm just going to say maybe the obvious, too, that New York State DOT, or the county, I think New York State, they're going to get to Browncroft finally, which will be great for our residents starting hopefully in January. And there's going to be public input coming up pretty soon, maybe in a month. Is it May, Aimee?
Yeah, so you're talking about the project on Atlantic Browncroft Avenue?
Yeah.
That NISOT is doing? Yep, I think they're going to have a public information session on April 29th at the community center, the Penfield Community Center.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So I
yep.
assume, I don't know if you're going to coordinate with them, because I know they may do some changes at a light or two. I really don't know what they're going to do specifically, but just, I guess so you're aware. And
Yeah, that's good to know. We will definitely be coordinating with New York State DOT as well as County DOT, because we've got some major roads in Penfield that are state jurisdiction. So that's a good one. I'll get details on that. And then we just had an article come out recently about a study coming up for Empire Boulevard as well. So that's a key thoroughfare for the town of Penfield. That's state jurisdiction. And it's just a study, but at least they're moving forward with paying attention, because
Yeah.
that's a tough road.
then the last thing I thought of, and again, this may be obvious, but ADA, I know they did a study in the city recently on just accessibility, crossing roads, that kind of thing. Is that going to be incorporated in this at all?
Yes, so ADA compliance is certainly on our radar. ADA compatibility studies is a very detailed, specific type of initiative that's outside this scope.
Okay.
But we'll be identifying and looking at intersections of concern, and certainly looking for ADA compliance will be something that we'll do when we're in the field. So we'll identify problems when we see them at specific intersections.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Tom, I think I have a similar question to
Okay.
what Jeff asked, and it was about the school districts. Maybe on your slide for public participation, you only mentioned Penfield. Maybe another statement about schools that are pertinent or something, so you don't get that question every time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
'Cause it's
We'll be
gonna come up.
we'll be addressing, what do I want to say, Penfield students, wherever they're going to
You know,
school.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah,
solve that.
we'll tweak that and get that
Yeah,
more
'cause
inclusive.
we're in Webster School District.
Yeah,
That's
sure,
why it's
sure.
the two of them.
That's why we're sitting on the side.
I know.
Yeah, my kids both went to Indian Landing, so they were actually going into the town of Brighton to go to elementary school. So it's something we will pay attention to.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Any other questions?
Anything else?
No? Everybody's happy? All right. Cool. Well,
Okay.
yeah, thank you so much, Tom.
Yeah, and if anybody thinks of anything else, or you have any other ideas or questions, you can contact me through the town, and I'll be happy to answer them.
Perfect. Yeah,
All right.
thank you. Yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for coming in and giving us that intro to the ATP. I think it's going to be a good thing to look at. We'll have lots of opportunities for public participation, as Tom mentioned. So, yeah, awesome. Cool. All right. Moving on to our next items, traffic concerns under other jurisdictions. I don't think we have anything. Held items. Do we have any new business? Okay. Well, seeing none, we'll keep this short and sweet. So our next meeting will be May 20th, 2025. and we will adjourn this meeting at 5:21. Thanks.